remarkable comeback from 19 points down. It's Fiji against Portugal. We're into Pool C. Going into the weekend, Fiji 4 points behind South Africa, 5 ahead of New Zealand. The winners 3 times already this season on the Gold Coast, in Las Vegas, and also in Hong Kong. That was their 15th Hong Kong title. Here are the Portuguese, their problems at the other end of the table. They're 8 points ahead of Japan, who are in the relegation position, so they could lose their status as one of the 15 core teams. The referee today, Taku Otsuki. There he is, the Japanese official. So Fiji hugely impressive in their first match, beating Wales by 40 points to 17. The Portuguese will see themselves perhaps as having been cruelly denied by the Scots. So it is Portugal in possession. That was Pedro Leal, the captain. Look out for him wearing 4. Portugal's all-time record point scorer. There goes Jose Lima. On to Edarito Estevez. Estevez, their record try scorer. So still waiting for our first points here. Too wide, throws it in. Taken on there by Colasinao. Good covering tackle. Just inside Fiji territory. Fiji using the full width. It's pure 2 wide. And support, it's a 2-on-1. And Fiji will get the opening score. And it's gone the way of Jerry Tuai. Well, the outstanding player for Fiji in their tournament win at Las Vegas. That's his 20th try in his World Series career. Second already today. Look at that offload.
It's so exciting to see Fiji play today. They really do inspire people and define the game of sevens, and Ben Ryan really has added quite a professional dimension and understanding, and with that, you know, you're adding the natural athleticism and flair that the Fijians possess, and you've really got a great environment, and that's why everybody likes to see them play, for reasons like that.
Well, it's not that often that South Africans celebrate New Zealand tries, but they have done in that last match. South Africa, the first team in this series to qualify for the Olympic Games. That, of course, putting to one side Brazil, who have one of those 12 spots automatically as hosts. Terrific little offload out of the back. Well, he's holding up, or being held up is the Portuguese. And eventually the ball's gone into touch. Quickly thrown there by Fiji. It's pure 2 wide. Tall, powerful man getting through the 2 tackles, looking for the support outside. Couldn't quite find Kunatani. Here's Roata. Roata is back, going for the corner. Does it with some ease.
Really set the crowd alight on that one there, Martin. And it's actually quite typical of Fijians to almost intentionally throw a bounce pass just to try and suck the defence in, and wouldn't surprise me as the ball hit the deck there. But you know, a lovely bit of skill there from Portugal as well to really try and match the Fijians. But for me, you've got to be clinical, and here, any kind of maul, you're going to struggle against such strong Fijians. And actually, the playmaker in this instance is Pio Tuai, big man in the middle. If he's making these line breaks, got support with him as you've seen here, it's always going to be pretty difficult to stop him.
We saw there Savanatha Roata from a standing start, getting around the defence.
The one thing always said when you're playing Fiji is got to make sure you keep the ball against them. Portugal can't afford to lose it.
Well, we've seen Bodin Waka striking him out the middle. We saw it again there from Fiji, and it's perhaps sometimes a slightly underestimated quality in sevens, the ability to make 5.7. There are so many times when it's crucial. So Fiji 14 points up. We've been playing for 4 minutes. Gathering the ball there was Pedro Leal, out to Estevez. Estevez needs to find support, taking the ground. There's the ball to be competed for. Portugal had it for a moment. Referee coming back for a knock-on against Fiji.
Definitely quite a lot of experience in this Portuguese team. I mean, you've seen Estevez there, how potentially threatening he is, with arms and legs absolutely everywhere, and you know, he's absolutely terrorised the series for years. So get him more ball, get a platform with some really big, powerful forwards, and they're always going to have a chance.
Here's Agarito Estevez playing today in his 55th World Series event. There you go, 92 tries. The 92nd of those up against Scotland earlier. What a match that was. Good harrying that time from Kolinissa. They turned it over. Fiji, the little inside pass. It was to Rawata. Well, you have to say Fiji are the Harlem Globetrotters of this sport, aren't they? Can frustrate every now and again, but also have the ability to produce a sort of play which makes others blush. Well, having said that, this time it's Nuno Guedes, the offload. Well, they got men over here, Portugal. And in the end, it goes back appropriately to Nuno Guedes. He picks up his 23rd career try.
Fair play to the man there, speculated on a bit of a crazy offload. 4-on-1 it was in the end there, but managed to get underneath the sticks to prove that it was worth it in the end. But great line, great taking on the big man in the middle, trying to get round the last man, and just so really well. Kunatani covering. That is an absolute speculator, but if that comes off, that's on your highlights reel. Wow. You ever pulled one of those off, Martin?
In my sleep. A little thumbs up. They got him out of jail a bit there, didn't they? I was rather more in hope than any meaningful expectation that he would pull it off.
I think he wanted to get on the World Rugby adverts.
Oh, Pedro Leal. Well, that won't be on the highlights reel.
And this really is the last thing you want. You've got a Fijian team full of absolute potency, and you've given the ball in the middle of the pitch.
It will be the final play of the half. There's one of the law variations. Ball doesn't go 10, it's a free kick on the halfway line. And Portugal come away with it. That was Nuno Guedes again. Ball scooped up that time by Matias. There is Foro on the halfway line. Can Portugal get it back into this match? Going quite nicely here. The tackle a little high. We'll come back for the penalty.
Examples there of why people, and they're playing Fiji, just try and keep the ball. All about their attack, but when you do have the ball against them, they get lazy and often ill-disciplined.
Pedro Leal. And here is the big fella Estevez. Paulino. Playing with patience here, Portugal. They've got to make this phase count. Estevez. There's Leal. Oh, they've got possession, but they're being pushed backwards here. Oh dear. Then they've gifted it to Ravuvu. Ravuvu! Well, I guess they were playing Russian roulette a little, weren't they, the Portuguese? And that, well, it's almost a 14-point turnaround, isn't it?
Imagine very disappointing for the Portuguese there, having really tried to fragment the Fiji defence, which I believe they did quite well, giving the ball away. on the inside ball just really did kill them off there. I wonder if he called for it. You see there, great work by Foro, such a strong man, such a big man. Definitely called for it, definitely called for it. And then any chance to finish off, stroll under the post, he's going to take it.
So the try is converted, and Fiji have established that 14-point lead.
Variar o jogo, insistimos constantemente neste passe, não deu nada. Epá, mexemos um bocadinho, vamos entrar por eles dentro em velocidade, como já perceberam, sempre que corremos em velocidade e atacamos os ombros internos deles, eles falham. Quem está exterior, o que é que tem que fazer? Convergir, guarda, códigos curtos, 1, 2, 3, 4, vamos jogar por exagero no curto. Quando os afunilamos, joga fora. Quando sentirmos que estamos a jogar mais, como foi agora, alguém tem que entrar, alguém tem que chamar um código curto, tira a bola, mal. Na luta de 1 para 1, vamos ser mais agressivos, é mal? Vamos embora, pá!
Let's cup our ears now in the direction of the Fiji coach, Ben Ryan.
They're going to live off our 50-50s. And I tell you what's a little bit upsetting. I've seen balls on the floor and the Portuguese are getting it, not Fijian. That's not us. 50-50s are Fiji, okay? All right.
Is he perhaps a little concerned they're not competing hard enough with those 50-50 balls?
Yeah, it's a real difficult one. The ball is on the floor, it is a 50-50. Ben's completely right, and that's where momentum has nothing to do with sevens. They've got to make sure that those balls are going to be theirs to win, and that shows character.
Well, we've got our first headline of the opening day in Glasgow. South Africa have booked their place to Rio 2016.
Versus Wales next. Meanwhile, let's enjoy the second half of our current team beside us, Fiji against Portugal.
So Pedro Leal, Portugal's all-time record point scorer, very much the main man in Portuguese sevens. All going forward, so Portugal will have the put-in.
Yeah, Leal's really is the heartbeat of this Portuguese team, and he needs to step up and try and pull the strings a little bit more. Just as well as Kulanisau for the Fijian team needs to up his school prefect role and make sure he gets a grip of this defence and keep them a little more solidified.
So as things stand in Pool C, Fiji and Scotland both on 3 points apiece, having both won their opening game in the pool. Well, it's not gone out yet, and it has now for Nuno Guedes, who's been something of a thorn in the flesh for Fiji, hasn't he, over the course of the last 8 minutes?
He's definitely not scared to try things, that's for sure.
One or two alterations being made. Coming on is Apisai Domalalai for Fiji and Bernardo Cardoso for Portugal. Off goes Gonçalo Foro. So here's Jerry Tuwai. Throw in not straight.
It must be a real frustration for Fiji. Everyone wants to see them with the ball, but often when it comes to set piece, they can't quite translate that. I know Ben Ryan specifically bringing in Chris Cracknell to try and address that. You saw him at the half-time talk, and that's an area they really can get better at, which is pretty frightening to think they're lacking in some aspect.
Yes, it's not bad when you can be the winners of 3 tournaments already, and there are basic elements of the game, set pieces, which you're falling short on. So 21 points to 7. 5 minutes to go. We saw in the last match with New Zealand coming back from 19 points down, just how swiftly things can change once the momentum swings. Well, that is Leal. Easy to defend for Fiji at the moment. In fact, they've turned it over. Bit of a boot coming in from Estevez. Oh! Interception, here's an opportunity. Matthias. Penalty against Portugal, holding the ball in the tackle, quickly taken. Just running across field there was Talenga, and he's got through. And well, he's sauntering. Just looking at the opposition. Playing with the opposition like a first round heat of the 100 metres. That was a little bit Linford Christie-esque, wasn't it? Looking over his shoulder, looking down at the opposition.
Just always looks so completely effortless when you see the Fijians at full fly. And whilst he looks relaxed and he's beaten like 2 men through the middle of the pitch here, at no point does he ever feel like he's trying. Just watching him so relaxed with his shoulders down, taking a little peek, change the direction and just put the ball down, surrounded by his fellow countrymen. What a fantastic thing to see.
So the attempt to turn 5 into 7 is good. And Fiji stretch their lead to 21. And that's really the magic number, isn't it, in sevens?
It's a very difficult score to try and get back from. You can think that it's almost going to take 4 scores with the extra added conversions. It makes a really important point you made earlier, Martin, about how those conversions are absolutely crucial.
So Fiji preparing to make another change. Competition there at the restart. It's gone the way of Fiji again. Kunatani getting through the gap. It's another score. The floodgates are opening.
Classic Fiji. Ball through the middle on the kickoff. Absolutely destroys the opposition by getting above him, slaps the ball back with this huge palm. Look at that. Ball bounces. First to react to Fijian because they're going forward. They've got ascendancy. And Kunatani, he just, every single game he plays, he just creates highlights.
Yes, the slap back there coming from Isaki Kotanebao. Man who spent a few weeks at the Stade Mayal on trial at Toulon. Coach Philippe Saint-André at the time was looking for a medical joker. Sadly, Kotanebao didn't make the cut. Whereas Boudjilal, on a rare occasion, wouldn't reach for his checkbook. And that was great, wasn't it? Kunatani just opening up his stride. So 33 points to 7. Men in front of the kicker.
Quite a rare free kick there, actually. I've seen quite a few today where it may well have been on the edge, but fair play, the referee's picked it up.
Good one to clamp down on. We see so much of that, don't we, both in the 7s and 15s game. When we talk about how important restarts are, you're rather relying on the referee having a zero tolerance approach to any player who gets in front of the kicker. Taken into the contact there by Betancourt. 33 points to 7. Still got almost 2 minutes to go. The tackle player being held up.
And you see just as prevalent in the sevens game, the catch tackle as they call it, when people run in quite upright, someone gets a hold of them, they'll support the ball, another person will get behind the body and hold his body weight. There really is no chance of getting out of it.
So they put in there from Nasila Silla. Into Kunatani again, and there comes the interception. Good work there from Miranda. Estevez, anxious to the ball, holding it in one hand, from one hand to the other. Here he goes, Estevez, big handoff. Oh, Raisunga felt that. And that's why this man has scored so many tries for Portugal. That number 93, according to my notebook.
Estevez doing exactly what he does there, Martin. He's done it time and time again, just for an incredible amount of years thinking about it. Every memory I've got of Portugal somehow incorporates Estevez streaming down the side, dodging tackles with these longest legs.
Well, that swung and swerved, and in the end, I'm afraid, dived. This fend was impressive, wasn't it? Well, off you go.
I'm pretty sure he has no idea what he's going to do when he's got the ball, yet alone the opposition.
Well, it's the perfect combo, really, isn't it? A steepling restart. Still Fiji come away with it. That was the classic 50-50 ball, which Ben Ryan was maybe referring to. There's Talinga in retreat. 33 points to 12 here. Fiji is off now. looking for the support onto Kunatani, and Kunatani romps away. Terrific, long raking stride. That was Alberto Juan Torino-esque.
Absolutely never get bored of seeing that in full flight here. Kunatani, he has set the world on fire this year. What an exceptional player, but just shows how when you're playing Fiji, you cannot hold off them. Portugal just inviting people with incredible feet, size and strength to run at them, which is just going to be a long day in any world.
They're going to take some beating this weekend. Seeing one or two potential cracks in the armoury of New Zealand, of Australia, of England, of South Africa. But so far, Fiji have been very efficient. 40 points to 12.